Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, my fellow pirate brethren, wherever you are on the seas and on this rock. So we took the engine to the machine shop and we have it back now. So we'll do a little flyby and let you check it out. All right, guys, so here's a little flyby of the engine on the stand up close. She's pretty damn clean. And let's see if I can get some light in there. I don't know if you guys can see. Brand new crosshatch in there. A lot of our parts will come on Monday or Tuesday, but today I think we can get the crankshaft in once we get it painted, if this is quick dry paint. So here's a little flyby using the GoPro for it. We even taped a little bit back here just to get it off, keep the paint off, but that's how your engine should look when she's all taped. Let's see if I can get a bottom shot here. Looks like that. And Rufus is in the way. Oh, look. See what happens? Anyway. So there's the flyby, guys. We'll get some video spraying. As I mentioned before, gentlemen, here is our engine paint. We got the low gloss black, duplicolor, enamel with ceramic. Good up to about 500. If your block gets that hot, then you're doing something wrong with your coolant system or something's going wrong. So shouldn't get much hotter than that. But anyways, guys, let me get to this in a minute. I gotta open her up, shake her up. Alright, let's give this a try, guys. 8 to 10 inches away, nice long strokes. We'll see what we can do. It's gonna stink like high heaven in here because it's engine paint. I should be wearing my mask. You want to do light coats. No need to lay it on really thick all at once. I'll try and get 2 coats for the whole block out of this can. It's only a 4-cylinder, so we should be able to do it. And this is a spray bomb, so hopefully it should dry and quick. And you can kind of see where it's a little light in spots. It doesn't dry that quick. And that gray that's still on the engine block from the factory 20 years ago. That's kind of a good guide coat too. Alright. I wonder how many will say, oh, you missed a spot. Which is alright. She's gonna be pretty when she's done. I think that's good for the first light coat on this side. Let me put on my mask real quick. Let that do its thing. I know y'all, you safe conscious fellas out there, don't want to see me go away, and if you do, hey, you shouldn't be watching my channel. More dust inside my mask than there is whatever. Let me kick the engine up. The good thing about being on an engine stand, just kick her around. Ugh. Hard to get this thing on with the dreadlocks.
You want to keep shaking up your can a little bit. This side has a little more rust. So, and of course here, I thought, come on, long time, be fair. Here's how you do a seal fit for your mask. Put your hands here, try and breathe. And some stubble, so it's a little leaky. Now the engine stand, take the rod, let's give it a nice little swing. Alright guys, it's been 10 minutes. Yes, I do have my PPE on. Got the can. We'll get the second coat going here. Give her another little shake. And we'll try and do a nice really light coat here. Alright guys, I think that is it for the second coat. Alright guys, so we're back for the final coat. Alright, here we go.
Alright guys, so it's been about 2 hours and the paint is completely dry on the engine block. So here's the part we are all waiting for, the reveal. We'll start with the cylinder head top here, and I use this little razor knife just to start it off, and then we'll get to peeling. It's like unwrapping Christmas presents, you know? Indeed. So you can see, and there is the cylinders. As you can see, no paint here from our good taping job. And we'll put a little bit of WD-40 or something on this to keep it from getting rusty. I already did that in cylinder bores earlier. Looks like it's still doing it, but I'll just throw a little bit more. Got the little doggies moaning over there in the corner. My stomach is just a grumbling, guys. We need some food. It's that side. Let's see. Let me give her a little bit more of a spin. But yeah, not a lick of paint on the side, on the surfaces where we need the paint to stay away from. Like all this edge right here, not this edge on top, but here down and here up gets sealant. I don't know if I showed that in one of my other videos when I did this in the car. Let's rotate this around. Get the bottom. And this is where the oil pan will go. This is the valve, this is the stern of the car, or the engine. Transmission will be here, and it's all will be timing up here. So. Where's my finger? Let me grab my little blade here so I can scrape some of the tape, because the hammer will stick it really good to these machine surfaces. I don't know if when you heard me tapping around the edges here to get this tape to cut nice like that, that rattling noise you heard, that's just my main caps. They're not really tightened down, they're just in there. I screwed them on loosely when they got sent to the machine shop so they'd get a dip in the hot tank too. They'll get covered in oil in a little bit. I think most of our parts will be here by Tuesday, but we can get a little jump on it. We'll be able to put the crankshaft in because we have the parts to at least do that. There's the main bulk of the tape on the whole engine block. I just put a little bit on the back stern side here, just to keep the overspray off some of these machine surfaces back here. We'll probably, well, since we emptied that can of paint, we'll have to go get another can of paint for $8 and tape it off again a little bit. I mean, we might not have to. It might be alright. Once we get it off the engine stand, we'll see what kind of surfaces are over there to if we have to spray them. So now we got it sideways. Now this right here is where the oil filter projection goes. Like your oil filter will screw on, let me see, like this right here. Because it bolts here, and then you screw your oil filter on here, and then there's two hoses that come out to like the oil cooler that's in the car. This hole I'm doing right now is for the filler tube, I believe, for the oh no, this tube, this is for the turbo return tube. That's what this is for. It's the front of the engine. The oil filler tube will be back here. So we'll get all these little, and that tape left a little goo on there, so we'll just take little cleaner a little later. Get that off of there because, you know, our OCD kicks. We want it to be all pretty. And then these studs, these are all just mounts for things like this right here. These three, I believe, are for the air conditioning pump, because that's right at the bottom of the engine. This hole right here is where the water pump will go once we get to it. There we go. There's that side. We'll spin her over and get the other side. Ugh. And all these little studs, you know, they're just for mounting random things. Hopefully I remember where everything goes. I'm pretty sure this one of these ones is for the, there's a strut that holds up the intake manifold. So it's not just held on by the bolts that go into the head. A little more stable that way. But I mean, when you buy cars that aircraft engineers design, usually they're a little bit better than the normal average everyday car, which they are. Yeah. We're just taking off all the little bits. This hole right here is where the pickup tube for the oil goes when you fill it and you do your oil change. I believe that one is the crank sensor. It might be two, because I know there's another hole over here on this side. We will figure it out when we put it back together. Two, done. Everything on the front is done. On the bow. Looks like what I could get to on the stern. All the tape's gone there. And there we have it, gentlemen. One pretty brand new used Saab engine, I guess. Came back from the machine shop. I showed you the crosshatch earlier. Looks beautiful. Can't wait for the rings to get here. So I'll have the crankshaft in, ready to go once those rings get here. Other than that, gentlemen, I'm just going to give her a little squirt down with a little WD or something to keep the rust from forming, surface rust, all that good stuff, because we just got this out of the machine shop. You don't want your things to rust. You know what's next. Stay safe out there, guys, and as always, car love. Figure I'd show you, give you a little shot of me squirting her down. Just got a little, I don't know where my big jug went to refill this, but this is my WD. I'm just fingering the bore. Rubbing it all around. Now we'll wipe these out, you know, 'cause there's probably a little grit on my hands or whatever that. We don't want to mess up the bores with a little piece of grit and whatever. We'll wipe them out real good once we're putting them together. Putting the pistons back in. We just don't want her to rust up. Love the smell of the WD. And just give a little squirt all over, let her run around. Now in here is our balance shaft bearings. we might try and take these bearings out. And see, there's a hole right here for the oil passage to lubricate that journal and that bearing that's part of those balance shafts. Well, if we can get these bearings out with halfway decent, you know, without messing them up too much, we'll take them out and then we'll clock them so the holes on these journals don't line up with the passageway in the block that's right here that the oil comes through. And when we do that, that'll seal that off, and there's a journal, or there's a bearing way back here. So we might try and do this before we put the crankshaft in, because it's way easier to do with the crank out. And what that does is, once we clock those and cut off that oil passage, that'll in turn give our block higher oil pressure, because we're not using those balance shafts. So I think that's what the balance shaft delete kit consists of that you can buy out there on the market. Basically, it's just some bearings, I believe, without the hole in it. So we'll just squirt her down. Hopefully this WD doesn't evaporate. Just giving them a coat, give it a coating. Another thing, we have these little oil squirters down here that we have to screw in before the crankshaft goes in as well. I'm going to get out of here. It is definitely dinner time. Time for dinner, and let's do a different one. We'll do sob love, guys, and car love.